All right, so let's just settle. I've been gossiping so much now, we're 7 minutes in, but settle into your meditation posture, something comfortable. Doesn't have to be perfect. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders are aligned with the hips, and just lengthen the spine. Just try and settle the mind. Relax the body from the crown of the head all the way down to the feet. Just notice your breath. We're going to move straight into the meditation. So just very briefly, just check your thoughts, focus in, bring the loved ones to mind, friends, enemies, strangers. And then think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity instead. And so here we come to the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we don't want any more suffering. So it makes sense logically to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha to forgive us. We're not looking for this higher power, this kind of godlike creator figure. We are actually looking for the methods, healing methods that we can apply ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion, has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And so here we come to this section on developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So you can think of particularly of someone you may have harmed recently or in the past, and then think maybe of people who have harmed you and have compassion for them. Particularly have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as suffering for them sometime down the track. And the time of that suffering ripening is never going to be clear, never going to be sure. So it could be at a very inconvenient time. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So here we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and all the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Pompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine walking into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch and that light dispels the darkness in the room. So same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, depression, resentment, all of it instantly dispelled. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think now, there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar from his heart, and it enters your heart and immediately eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam karu hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified and just imagine there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So you're clean, clear. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to not harm with our body, speech, and mind. And without this determination, without making a decision like this, we're going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. And it becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So, first of all, rejoice in your efforts for turning up tonight, particularly those of you in these different time zones, on the East Coast, Far East. And Jay here is coming in from Australia. So it takes a bit of effort to work out when to come on and to carve out some time in your day that's not always necessarily convenient. So rejoice in your effort for showing up for yourself and everybody else. And then rejoice in the effort you've been putting in to make changes in your life. And remember how it's all it's private. This is very internal work. And through doing this kind of work, you develop a sort of a certainty in going the right direction. So think of something you'd like to work on tonight between now and tomorrow. If you do the practice over the weekend, or maybe just between now and Monday. Refrain from doing that thing for the weekend. And sometimes these habits take a while to change. So you might make a determination and not quite make it. And then you just keep making the determination, not quite make it. And then one day, all of a sudden, you've kind of jumped over the fence. And it's not happening anymore. So this determination to not do again gives us strength to change. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles, he would call it. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level your mind understands emptiness, place it there for a while, and you can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. They're all phenomena are just dependent arisings. So that box that turns up from IKEA, it looks like a couch or a table on the internet, and when it turns up, it's a bunch of nails and screws and pieces of wood and very sparse instructions, let me tell you. And so then if one little piece is missing, you don't have a table, because you can't make a table because you don't have all the parts. So everything you see is made up of a bunch of dependent arisings. The screws have to fit. You need to be able to screw them in. You need to have all the right bits and pieces. And then the other way to look at it is you can think that maybe the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created from doing this practice this evening to all living beings. Let's think of all those people moving into the weekend over there in Israel, and just make strong prayers for everybody to be safe and for the harm to stop. And make strong prayers for our precious Hin, who sounds like is continuing to have treatment. So may this radiation treatment be successful and give her the relief that she needs. And may all this virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice brighten his mind enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So think, if you have His Holiness the Dalai Lama as a teacher, make a strong wish for His Holiness to live long. Make a strong wish for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and any of your own teachers. Make a strong wish for them to recover quickly if they're not well, to live a long life, a happy life, and to be able to continue to teach. All right, everyone, lots of love. Thank you so very much. And what is Elizabeth saying? Here's to us all jumping over our respective fences. Exactly. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Good night. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Thank you for hosting. And I will see you on Monday. Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye.